Hi everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our English learning podcast. I'm Amira, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Khuram.
Hey everyone. I'm so happy to be here again, Amira. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Khuram, and I'm especially excited for today's episode because we're going to talk about creative ways to improve your English through everyday activities. These tips are designed to fit seamlessly into your daily life, no extra studying required.
That sounds fantastic. I love how we're focusing on making English learning part of the everyday routine. It doesn't have to be hard or boring. Let's dive in. What's the first tip?
Tip 1. Narrate your actions in English. Let's kick things off with tip 1. Narrate your actions in English. As you go through your day, describe what you're doing out loud. For example, I'm making breakfast or I'm putting on my shoes. This is a great way to practice forming sentences.
Oh, I love that. It's like you narrating your life. And if you're feeling shy, no worries, you can always do it in your head. It's like giving your brain a mini English workout. Plus, it helps you think in English instead of translating from your native language.
Exactly. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. You might find yourself thinking in English without even realizing it. And once you get comfortable with basic sentences, you can step it up. For example, I'm making breakfast could turn into I'm making scrambled eggs and toast for breakfast because I'm in a hurry today. Tip 2. Change your phone's language to English. Now, on to tip 2. Change your phone's language to English. This is such a simple but powerful tip. Your phone is something you use constantly, so this is a great way to immerse yourself in English. Every time you check your notifications, you'll see words like settings, notifications, and search in English.
Yes. And let's not forget apps like Instagram or WhatsApp, they'll also start showing up in English. This is an easy and consistent way to keep learning, even when you're not actively studying. It's a small change that makes a big impact.
Tip 3. Shop online in English. Let's move on to tip 3. Shop online in English. We shop online all the time, so why not do it in English? You'll be reading product descriptions, reviews, and recommendations, all of which help expand your vocabulary. You'll pick up words like shipping, delivery, return policy, and more.
Small change that makes a big impact. Right? And here's an extra challenge. Try reading the product descriptions on different websites in English. For example, compare how an online store describes the same product. You'll notice different styles of writing and synonyms. It's a fun way to boost your vocabulary and understanding of how language is used differently in various contexts.
Tip 4. Play games in English. Now, let's talk about tip 4. Play games in English. Games are a fantastic way to practice English. Whether it's a word puzzle, a video game, or even a board game, you'll be exposed to new vocabulary and phrases. Games like Scrabble or crossword puzzles are great for expanding your vocabulary, and if you love video games, there's so much useful dialogue in those too.
Exactly. In video games, you'll often hear characters talking in English, which helps with listening skills. Even the instructions, menus, and quest lines are written in English, so you're learning constantly without realizing it.
Tip 5. Create a to-do list in English. Let's move on to tip 5. Create a to-do list in English. Writing a to-do list in English not only helps you stay organized but also gets you to practice English on a daily basis. For example, buy groceries or call the doctor can become I need to buy vegetables or I need to schedule an appointment with the doctor.
And what's really great about this tip is that you can experiment with different tenses. You could write, I will meet friends for dinner, or I've already completed my work. It's a fantastic way to practice both vocabulary and grammar at the same time.
Tip 6. Use English in your hobbies. Next up, Tip 6. Use English in your hobbies. Whatever your hobbies are, cooking, gardening, painting, try following tutorials or reading guides in English. If you enjoy cooking, watch recipe videos or read recipes in English. You'll not only pick up language but also cultural vocabulary like bake, fry, or preheat.
Absolutely. And if you like sports or fitness, try watching workout videos or reading health-related articles in English. You'll learn not only fitness terminology but also motivational phrases like, push yourself, or, don't give up.
Tip 7. Write daily gratitude in English. Moving on to Tip 7. Write daily gratitude in English. At the end of the day, write down 3 things you're grateful for in English. For example, I'm grateful for my family, my health, and the beautiful weather today. This helps you practice your writing skills while reflecting on your day.
Yes, and it's also a great way to see your progress over time. You'll notice how your writing improves as you learn more words and expressions. It's also a great way to end your day on a positive note.
Tip 8. Speak to yourself in the mirror. Now, let's discuss Tip 8. Speak to yourself in the mirror. This might sound a little funny, but it's such a good way to build confidence in speaking. You can practice introducing yourself, talking about your day, or even pretending to have a conversation. It's a safe space where you can make mistakes and learn without any pressure.
And if you want to take it a step further, you can record yourself and listen back. It may feel a little strange at first, but it's an excellent way to check your pronunciation and identify areas where you can improve.
Tip 9. Create flashcards for new vocabulary. Next up is Tip 9. Create flashcards for new vocabulary. Flashcards are such a great tool for memorization. You can use paper flashcards or apps like Anki or Quizlet to help reinforce new words. On one side, you can write the word in English, and on the other side, add the definition or an image to help you remember it.
And the best part is you can review them anywhere, during your commute, while waiting in line, or before bed. It's a great way to make learning part of your daily routine.
Tip 10. Join online forums or groups. Lastly, Tip 10. Join online forums or groups. Engaging in online communities is an excellent way to practice your writing and speaking skills. Whether it's a Facebook group, a subreddit, or a language exchange platform, you can join discussions about topics you love. Whether it's travel, books, or cooking, there are forums for everything.
Plus, you'll learn casual expressions, slang, and how native speakers communicate with each other. Engaging in these online discussions is a great way to keep the conversation going and boost your confidence in using English.
Please give me a word's meanings about podcast. Podcast. Meaning, a digital audio or video program that can be streamed or downloaded to be listened to or watched at any time. Podcasts are typically released in episodes and cover various topics. Episode. Meaning, a single installment or part of a series of podcasts. Each episode typically has a unique topic or theme. Host, meaning the person or people who lead and speak during the podcast. The host guides the conversation, introduces guests, and keeps the episode moving. Guest, meaning a person invited to join a podcast episode to contribute their expertise or perspective on a topic. Transcript, meaning a written version of the spoken content of a podcast episode, often used for accessibility or reference purposes. Streaming, meaning the process of playing audio or video content directly from the internet without needing to download it first. It allows instant playback. Subscription, meaning the act of following a podcast, so new episodes are automatically delivered to your device. Subscribing helps listeners stay up to date with new content.
Platform, meaning a website or app, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts, where podcasts are hosted, streamed, or downloaded. Soundboard, meaning a tool used in podcasting to play sound effects, jingles, or music during a recording or live broadcast. Intro-outro, meaning the beginning, intro, and ending, outro, segments of a podcast episode. The intro introduces the show, while the outro usually summarizes the episode and invites listeners to subscribe or follow. Listener, meaning a person who listens to a podcast. Listeners engage with the content, providing feedback and often sharing the episodes with others. Sponsorship, meaning when a company or brand pays to have their products or services mentioned during a podcast episode. Sponsors often get a short segment where the host promotes the brand. Download, meaning to save a podcast episode onto a device so it can be listened to offline. RSS feed, meaning a system that allows podcast episodes to be automatically delivered to listeners' devices through subscriptions, providing updates when new episodes are released. Audio editing, meaning the process of modifying a podcast's recorded sound, including cutting out mistakes, adjusting volume levels, and adding effects or music. Would you like more definitions or have any specific podcast-related terms you want to explore?
Recap and final thoughts. So, to quickly recap, here are the 10 creative ways to learn English daily. 1. Narrate your actions in English. 2. Change your phone's language. 3. Shop online in English. 4. Play games in English. 5. Create a to-do list. 6. Use English in your hobbies. 7. Write daily gratitude. 8. Speak to yourself in the mirror. 9. Create vocabulary flashcards. 10. Join online forums or groups.
These tips make learning English fun and part of your everyday life. I'm sure our listeners are ready to start using these ideas. Amira, this was such an awesome discussion.
Thank you, Khuram. I love how all of these tips are simple, practical, and easy to incorporate into anyone's routine. It just goes to show that learning English doesn't have to be a big, stressful task. You can improve every day with small steps.
Absolutely. And don't forget, listeners, to share your experiences with us. We'd love to hear how you're incorporating these tips into your daily life. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the learning process.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, learning English is all about consistency, creativity, and having fun. Until next time, happy learning, everyone.
See you next time, and keep up the great work. Take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be speaking English with confidence. Bye for now.